Today we're going to be covering an E128 error code. That's an overload interceptor stuck on the Zipwake system. We'll go over the steps today to show you how to troubleshoot that error if you do get it in the field. One of the first things you want to do when you get to a boat and you have an error on the system, your Zipwake system, we really just want to do a quick software update. It's a really easy step. You can go into zipwake.com, go under support and download that latest software version for your Series E or Series S system. Do a quick update on the standard traditional panel. If you have that, it's just going to go on a USB stick. You want to make sure the system's powered down, plug it into the back under the waterproof cap, then power the system on, follow the prompt on the screen. It takes about a minute. If you have an integrator module, you're going to be doing that via Wi-Fi through your MFD. Same process, you're going to get that software up to date and making sure we're operating on the latest software. If you start in your troubleshooting for an E128 overload interceptor stuck, servo seems to be operating, panel turns on, everything seems to be good, but the system powers down when you start doing your interceptor checks, or powers down slightly after starting your system, and it's just acting erratically and throwing E128s. You really want to take a look at your power and make sure you have proper voltage going to the system. So probe that power, make sure you get over 12.5 volts on there. Sometimes when your voltage gets too low, the electronic side of things can get a little funky, and you might see intermittent E128s that indeed you might not have an E128. So we want to make sure that operating voltage is up to spec. This error really falls into two categories: a new install and boats that have been in the water for a while. So I really like to try to separate those two because that can really help us pinpoint what the issue is. Traditionally, when you have a new install and you get an E128, most likely it's going to come back to an installation issue. And then if you have the boat in the water and you have an E128, it's most likely going to come back to either a growth issue or a mechanical binding issue. First of all, we'll go into the steps if we have one in the water. System's been operating for a while in the field, been operating no issues, and you come across an E128 error. If you take a look at your Zipwake screen here, there's two indicators that will show that you have an error. You have a blinking eye in the middle of the screen or a red X. In the case of an E128 error, most likely you're going to have a red X. And it's either going to show it on the port side or the starboard side, or you could see both if you have an interceptor stuck on both sides. In this case, we're running just a pair, and we have just the port side is stuck here, and you can see there's a red X here. So what you're going to do when you see this happens, you're going to go into the menu. You're going to follow that blinking red dot and select System Information, and then your System Information is going to pop up, and this is going to show you everything that's hooked up to the system. So in this case, we could see that the port interceptor has the red X, and that's the one that's stuck. We select that unit. We select it again where it says Error Messages, and then it's going to give you the code of what's going on here. And as you can see here, it says E128, Overload Interceptor Stuck. So that gives us an idea of what code we're seeing, and we can go into the manual and it'll show you how to progress on the E128, what are the action items. But most likely, if the system's been in the water and you're seeing an E128, the first thing you're going to want to do is power down the system once or twice and see if that servo resets itself. If the error resets itself, great, you can run it, and if it keeps running fine, maybe just you had a piece of debris stuck in there, the amp maybe hasn't been used in a while and it's just been overloaded. But if the error keeps coming up, most likely that you have something internally in the interceptor that's a mechanical bind, and that servo is operating at too high of an amp load and it's stopping that servo from running, or you have excess growth inside. So if you do get a situation where it's an ongoing interceptor stuck error, you're going to want to take that boat out of the water and take a look and see what's going on. Once we get that boat out of the water, we're going to want to remove the front plate. So depending on what series you have Series S or Series E, this works for both. They're either going to be a T30 or T40 fastener. So we're going to want to remove those fasteners, and we're going to want to take that front plate off. And what we're looking for here is we want to make sure that front plate is moving nice and smoothly. It's not hung up. If there's heavy growth in these areas and on the back plate, we want to make sure we clean that all out. We can power wash that. Front plate should be annually removed and cleaned. Make sure your rollers and slip bars are in place. Make sure there's nothing dislodged in there. And also make sure you don't see any debris, whether it be seaweed or any type of growth in there that might be causing this unit from getting bound up. Put it back on. You're going to run an interceptor check, and you're going to go into the menu, go under Interceptor Setup, and then you're going to slide down and select your interceptor check. And what that's going to do is that's going to run a sweep cycle on the blades and send back a diagnostics report to your panel and tell you if that unit's operating in the right parameters. If they all come back in the green, that means that everything's operating properly and we can put the boat back in the water. If they start showing up in the orange to the red area, that means the amp load's too high and we still have an issue, so we have to dig in a little bit deeper. What you're going to want to do is remove the servo. There's 3 fasteners that hold the servo to the back plate. Remove the servo and take a look at the drive shaft and see if it's stuck, if it's seized. In a situation where it's extended all the way out and it is stuck or all the way in, what you can do is you could take a hex head, put it in the end, and slightly turn that drive shaft to see if you can loosen it. And you want to be really gentle with that to see if you can release it from its stuck position. In some cases, you are able to release it. It's just mechanically stuck, and it'll reset itself. You can install it back in, and it'll work fine. In other cases, you might not be able to resolve the issue. So if you still have an issue and that servo is still stuck and not resetting itself, most likely you're going to need a new servo unit at that point. The last thing you want to check, if the system's been installed for a while and the servo does work, is you want to check this slide here on the back plate. And this slide should be nice and smooth. You don't want it getting hung up across it. You want it to rack nice and smooth. Some situations with installs that could be easily missed is if you use too much sealant on the gearbox on the back plate, it can be forced into this corner here. And when you rack this slide back and forth, sometimes it starts to feel a little spongy on the edges. And what happens if you use a little too much sealant is when you launch the boat will operate fine for a while because the sealant hasn't kicked 100%. And when that sealant gets into that gearbox and starts to kick, it starts to harden up, and then you'll start to have some issues, and you'll feel it spongy on each side. You want this nice and smooth. So if this is tough to move side to side, that could be an indication that you have too much sealant internally on the back plate, or the transom that this mount is mounted on is slightly curved and outside the parameters that we need to follow, which is 2 millimeters off axis on the mounting surface. So that's 2 things that you want to keep an eye on too. Anytime after doing service work and replacing a servo or removing the front plate, and we're going to put that front plate back on and make sure that all the fasteners, besides the back plate fasteners, are torque sensitive. We're talking about really low torque values down to 2 Newton meters up to 15 Newton meters, so really light torque specs, really critical to make sure that Zipwake is operating in the right amp load. So just always remember, anytime you remove a front plate or working on a Zipwake system, those fasteners need to be torqued properly, and make sure you're using the right tool. If it's a brand new install and you're seeing an E128 right away off the bat on your initial Interceptor check, most likely this carrier is in the wrong position when you put the servo onto the back plate. And what we see here is usually this carrier is all the way to the left and the drive shaft just jams up against it and it's not slotted correctly. So you want to pull that front plate off, pull the servo off, and we want to make sure that this slide is all the way to the right hand side. That's the proper position, and you want to make sure that drive shaft and worm gear slots directly into there and they fit nice and smoothly, okay? And if you have in the wrong position all the way out to the left, you are still able to get that servo in there. And what happens is that drive shaft extends and it's going to jam against that carrier and then it's going to throw an E128. So almost every time if you see an E128 right off the bat on a new install and you just put it in, it's most likely going to come back to that carrier position being in the wrong place. We want to make sure that's all the way to the right hand side. There's one last step you can do once you've gone down the troubleshooting steps that we discussed and you're pretty sure that you need a new servo replacement. There's one last step you can do just to verify it, just to make sure that your troubleshooting steps were right. You can swap the leads on the distribution unit. So in this situation, our port unit, which is the red number 1, had the interceptor stuck issue, is going to be always matched up with the other interceptor. So this one's going to be starboard number 1 is matched up with the port number 1. You always need to make sure that they're in the same hold positions, 1 and 1, 2 and 2, or 3 and 3. And what you can do here is we could swap the leads. So just a simple process of elimination here. We're going to put the port lead where we're showing the existing error into the starboard and put the starboard into the port. And if that error follows itself to the starboard side of the panel, we definitely know that that servo is indeed failed. As you can see here, that error did indeed follow itself to the starboard side. So now we know that for sure that port interceptor servo needs to be replaced at that point. So once doing that lead swap and confirming that that port interceptor does need to be replaced, we want to make sure that we put them back in the proper position so we don't get confused down the road when we're replacing that existing servo. So we want to put that, you want to swap them back into their proper positions where you started from. So if you have any further questions or you get into the troubleshooting of the Zipwake system, we have a full team here at IMTRA that can help you. If you're on the boat and you're looking for help and running through the troubleshooting, or you have questions about the steps, give us a call. We're happy to help you out. We have a full team up front and we have a full service team. We can give you a hand and get that issue resolved for you.